Hey, what is up guys, Phoenix here, and welcome back to part 2 of our Freddy, or Glamrock Freddy pixel art tutorial from Five Nights at Freddy's, I want to say it's Security Breach, or whatever one is supposed to be coming out soon. It's funny, the characters have been out for a long time, but the game isn't even out yet. But anyways, where we last left off, we did the left to right frame of the shoulders, and now we're going to start working on the rest of the outline. So we have some of this stuff marked out with placement blocks already, and I'm going to go over to the left side, where we have this single block on the second to last block from this 5 flat right here. So let's just find it on the left shoulder. You can use the right hand camera screen to kind of just locate where I'm at if you're having difficulty finding where you need to be. We still have this marker over there and some marker on the right side, but we're not going to worry about that yet. So from this single, once you locate it, we're going to be putting our placement block on the top part for this next segment. So we're going to go up and to the left one single, and then you just put your placement block on top like that. Up and to the left 2 flat 2 times in a row. 1 2, that's 1. Placement block on top or to the left side, and we'll do it again. 1 2, that's 2. I'm going to start a little bit slow just because this is the welcoming parts of the tutorial. By part 3 or 4 we should be speeding things up, and you should be in your own groove by then. From there we're going to go up and to the left 4 singles, so placement block to the top or left side, and we're going to go 4 singles. So 1 2 3 4. Perfect. Up and to the left 2 vertical 2 times in a row. 1 2, that's 1. Placement block on top. 1 2, that's 2. And always just go back and clean up your extra blocks. It saves you a lot of time. From there we're going to go up and to the left 6 vertical. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Placement block on top. We're going to be going to the right side now, but it shouldn't matter because we're still putting our placement block on top. So we're going to go up and to the right now. 2 vertical, 1 2. So we switched directions, but it didn't matter because we were still going up, so your placement block still stays the same. Up and to the right 1 single, placement block on top. Up and to the right 5 flat, 1 2 3 4 5. And instead of putting our placement block on top, which would still be fine, we're going to put it to the right side just because there is going to be some bridging downward that I want to cover as well. So from that 5 flat, we can go over to that placement block we put at the end, and we can put 1 coal above it, like so, and 1 coal below it. Because we can split into 2 directions to either go to the top half of the face or finish bridging the lower half. So that's what we're going to do. Let's mark this top single and then work with the bottom one right here. From that single, we're going to put a placement block underneath it or to the right side, so that way we can go down into the right 2 flat, 1 2. And then we just put a placement block at the bottom again. We're then going to go down and to the right, and I want you to count this extremely carefully because this is going to be one of the biggest numbers I think I've ever said. 65 flat. So the best way I can kind of help break this down for you guys is every 10 blocks I want you to mark it with your placement block, so that way you can fall back if you think you messed up the counting. So we're going to do 6 groups of 10 and then 5 blocks, or you can just count straight out, whatever you're comfortable with. But every 10 blocks we're going to put a marker on it just so that way you don't get confused. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. We can mark that one. We just go and delete this old one. So this is the first marker. That means this is 10 blocks. We can go again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mark it again. So this is 20. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. That's 30. And let's say you were counting and you missed the block and you don't remember how much is here. Because you have these markers, all you have to do is just delete all the way to your marker and count your markers, and you'll know. So we have 3 markers, that means it's 30. So if you had 4 markers, it'd be 40, 5 markers, it'd be 50. It's just the easiest way to not lose track, and we're still heading on our way to 65. So let's count 10 more. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. That's 40. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. That's 50. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. That's 60. And then finally the last 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Perfect. Now usually I don't, I think I'm going to start recommending doing this for bigger numbers, because usually I don't do this and then we have to backtrack and add stuff to the line. But with the help of these markers, you can actually begin to find spots that I'm going to mark along this 65 plank. So what we're going to do is start all the way from the left side, and I want you to find the second block, so this one that's literally the second block in our chain, and we're going to put 4 coal above it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then mark those. I don't know if we're going to connect back to it later from another spot or if we're going to start from it later. So that's why I just marked them just in case. If we end up connecting back to it from another spot, we can just delete these placement blocks, but better safe than sorry. Then we can go to our first marker block. So this is our first, the 10th block from the left. And we can put 1 coal above that 10th block. So we're going to remove the marker and replace it with a coal. And then going to our second marker, if we count 3 blocks after it, so our 23rd block, so 1, 2, 3, we can put 4 coal above it, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that, and then mark that 4 coal. Then from our third marker, so this is our 30th block, if we actually count backwards 3 blocks from here, so let's count to the left, 1, 2, 3, like so, we can actually do the line. There's like this blue strip of chin line in the Glamrock Freddy build. So on this third block right here, we're gonna go underneath it and put 21 pieces of coal going straight down, and this should touch the chin right there. So technically you don't have to count, but if you want to make sure your build is in the right spot, I would just count it. But if you did it correctly, it should just touch that line. So we're just gonna go straight down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. See, touch the line, perfect. Some of you guys are a little bit more confident and you might just drag it down until it touches and be fine. But I always recommend being safe, you know, better safe than sorry. Now, if we go to the fourth marker, so this is the 40th block. So we have, first marker is right there. Yeah, that was the first marker. We removed it. So that was the first marker. That's the second marker. This is the third, and the fourth one's over here. If you need help kind of just finding out which one is the fourth marker, I'm pretty sure you guys can keep track. Just remember we deleted the first marker and replaced it with a coal. So that's the first marker technically right there. So the fourth marker, the 40th block, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go backwards to the left of it. We're gonna go 2 blocks to the left, so 1, 2, like so. And we're also gonna find 4 blocks to the left, so 3, 4. So we want this second block and we want this fourth block. So make sure yours looks like this with your markers, and we're gonna delete this first one and we're gonna delete this third one. We only want this fourth block and this second block. So just take a moment, make sure you guys have it spaced out like this. Make sure when you're counting left of the 40th block, you're not counting this first one, all right? We counted 2 blocks to the left, so it's 1, 2. So from both these blocks, we're gonna go above them and put 4 pieces of coal going straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go to the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can delete the markers and then just mark those 4 blocks. I think we did 4 placement. Yeah, we've done 4 vertical elsewhere on this, and these are actually just gonna be teeth. If you're wondering why we're doing these 4 pillars, these are just going to be teeth that we end up bridging into this upside down U shape just to get those chompers going. So that's why we have so many 4 verticals going. Those are all just going to be teeth. But now if we go to the 50th block, I don't know how to pronounce 50th block. So this 5th marker we have right here, what I want you to do is we're going to go to that coal that's underneath it, and I want you to count 3 squares to the left. So 1, 2, 3. Like so. And from that third square to the left, we're going to go underneath it and do the second part of this strip that we did before and put 21 vertical going straight down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Perfect. So you can see it connects to the same line as the one on the left side. It's just closing out that square shape. You can go ahead and delete those 3 flats we put right there. And before we move on from that 50th block, what I want you to do is we're going to go 1 block to the right of it, so right here, and I want you to put 4 coal going straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly like what we've been doing on the other ones. Now finally, I want you to go to the second to last block on this entire 65 strip, so this block right here. And we're going to put 3 coal going straight up. 1, 2, 3. And we can mark those. Once you've done that, you can go through and you can delete your single block markers that we have. So this one right here, this one right here, this one right here, this one, and we can leave that single coal we have right here because I told you already that's for the tooth. We only need the 4 verticals being marked and that 3 vertical being marked over here. Everything else is kind of fine. You can look at the right hand camera screen, just make sure yours looks like this before moving on. Now let's go to the right side of this 65 flat and put a placement block to the top or right of the final block, so that way we can go up and to the right 9 flat. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. From there we can go to the second to last block in that 9 flat and put 2 coal on top. 1 2, just like that. And then we can go to the final block in that 9 flat and put a placement block at the end, so that way we can go up and to the right 2 flat. 1 2. Up into the right 4 flat. 1 2 3 4. And then from that 4 flat, what we're going to do is 2 things. First, we're going to go to this first block all the way on the left side, and I want you to mark it. And then from that 4 flat, instead of working with that first block because we already marked it, we're going to come back to it later. We're going to go to the final block and put a placement block underneath it, so that way we can go down into the right 2 flat. 1 2. Placement block under the final block again. We're going to go down into the right 10 vertical, so count carefully. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Down its left 2 vertical. 1 2. Down to left 4 single. 1 2 3 4. Down its left 2 flat, and we're gonna do that 4 times in a row. 1 2, that's 1. 1 2, that's 2. 1 2, that's 3. And I would say 1 2, that's 4, but I forgot in the first part we already marked off this first spot to work with later. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier with certain blocks that we might mark and then not actually build off of, but we'll connect back to them later. So we ended up connecting back to this 2 flat that we marked in part 1, so we're fine. That creates the 4th set of 2 flat that we were waiting for. So just zoom out, make sure yours meets up like it's supposed to. If it didn't, you might be screwed, buddy. You might have to redo the whole thing. Just kidding. Zoom out and see where you might have messed up. It might have just been in the jaw. You might have counted the 65 wrong or something. If everything else was wrong, you don't even have to go back to part 1. I mean, if everything else was right, like if your part 1 was right, everything touched the ground where it was supposed to in part 1, then that means your mistake only came in part 2. And probably the only spot you could have messed up in part 2 was this 65 flat. So I would just go back again and make sure yours is correct. Always zoom out and recheck the right hand camera screen. Anyways, let's go back now to the left side of this build and start from there on doing the next half of the face. So if we go all the way to the left side where we had this 5 flat at the beginning of this part, we remember we bridged into the bottom and the top. The bottom is where we ended up going and doing the 65 flat, and the top block we ended up creating a single and just marking it. We didn't do anything with that single. So from that single, what we're going to do is put a placement block above it, so that way we can go up and to the right 1 single. We're then going to go up and to the right 3 vertical. 1 2 3. And boy, this 3 vertical splits into so many different spots. First off, should we just continue doing the teeth, or should I end up? No, we're gonna continue going with the face. We'll get as far into the face as we can. From that 3 vertical, what we're gonna do is on the bottom block, we're going to put 10 coal to the right of it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and we can mark that 10 flat. The bottom block in the 3 is not part of the 10, so make sure you count 10 separate blocks. Make sure you recheck that, and we'll come back to that later if we wanted to do the teeth. Instead, we're just going to continue with the 3 vertical by going to the top block and putting a 4th block on top of it, like so. Except from that 4th block, we're going to put 1 to the right and 5 to the left. 1 2 3 4 5. Perfect. So this should be 7 in length because we put 1 to the right and 5 to the left, and we had that first block already there. Double check that if you need to. From the right side, we're going to just put a marker on it and come back to later. That's going to be the top row of teeth and stuff that we can work with. But like I said, I want to just do the entire outline or get as far as I can with that. So we're gonna go to the left side and put a placement block to the top or left side. I strongly recommend putting your placement block on top though, because if we switch directions, we'll still be going up. So each time, just put your placement block on top. We'll go up and to the left 3 flat. 1, 2, 3, placement block. Up and to the left 2 flat. 1, 2, placement block. Up and to the left 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I always feel like when I talk too much or like just bridge out like this and stop building, people get annoyed, but I forget that if I'm not doing this, like where I'm not being descriptive or just being extra careful, I'm just gonna be saying blocks for 15 to 20 minutes, and that's kind of boring. So having these little breaks where you hear my voice, I feel like might be just fine. Let me know if it's annoying or not in the comments. Anyways, from those 4 singles, we're gonna go up and to the left 2 vertical 2 times in a row. So placement block on the top side. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Up and to the left 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up and to the left 9 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Placement block on top. And like I said, we'd be switching directions. So if you're putting your block on the left, it's gonna have to be on the right. But if you're putting your block on top, you can still keep it on top. We're gonna be going to up and to the right now. 3 vertical. 1, 2, 3. Up and to the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. Up and to the right 4 singles. Count carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you get this circular shape for the cheeks, and not those types of cheeks. Get your mind out the gutter. And we're gonna put a placement block on top and go up and to the right 2 flat 3 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. And finally 1, 2, that's 3. I'm gonna get demonetized. It's okay though. It's worth the sacrifice. From the top set of 2 flat now, we're gonna do 2 things. We can either work with the left block and continue the outline, which you know we're gonna do, or the right side right here is gonna do like some of the face makeup and the eyeball. So we're gonna go to the right block first and go up into the right 4 flat. So put a placement block to the top or right side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna mark that 4 flat and then abandon it. Going to the left block in this 2 flat now, we can put a placement block on top and go up and to the left 3 vertical. 1, 2, 3. And now we're headed to the ears. Numbers are going to get a little bit big here, but that's just because we need to kind of shape out the rest of his skull. So we're going to put a placement block on top and go up and to the left 12 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Placement block on top again. Up and to the right 7 vertical 2 times in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Placement block to the top or right side, and let's do it a second time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Might need to change the angle of the cameraman because it is looking kind of like weirdly scoped out for the head. Let me see if I tilt him down like so and then raise him up. Yeah, the angle looks a little bit better for the build. The top where I'm building it doesn't look so much into the clouds. Yeah. Anyways, from that 7 vertical that we built, we can start one of the ears. I don't really want to finish the ears, but having the start is perfectly fine. So let's go back to that first 7 verticals, so this bottom one right here. And from the top, we're gonna find the second to last block, so right here. From that second to last block, we're gonna go down into the left. I mean, not down to the left, sorry. We're gonna add 1 coal to the left side, like so. Now from that 1 coal to the left side, we're gonna go down into the left 2 vertical. See, I was getting ahead of myself. 1, 2, like so. And then from that 2 vertical, what we're gonna do is from the bottom block, we're gonna go down into the left 1 single. And then also from that bottom block, we're gonna add 1 coal to the right. That's just gonna be the start of the left ear. All right. When we want to come back to the ear, we can work with this single right here so we can mark it. But I just wanted to start, this is going to be a little gear right here for his ear. If you want to color this in with like a light gray or dark gray, you can, but I wouldn't worry about coloring until the end. So now let's backtrack to the 7 verticals and go to the top one and continue with that. So from the top block, we're going to put a placement block on top and go up into the right 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up into the right 2 vertical, and we're gonna do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row. Yikes. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. 1, 2, that's 3. 1, 2, that's 4, and then finally 1, 2, that's 5. Perfect. And then we can kind of just start the top part of the other, where this ear ends up meeting back up. We can set up that little area too. So from these sets of 2 vertical, if we find the third one, I guess, the middle one, I want to say, right here. Yeah, okay. We can end up putting 1 coal to the left of each of these blocks. So 1, 1 like so. And then from those 1 ones we just added, so just keep a marker on them so you know where we're working with. We can go to the top block in that and put a placement block above it, so that way we can go up and to the left, 2 vertical, 1, 2, and we can mark that. So now we have both ends of the ear basically. If we want to do the left ear, we can either go to this 2 vertical or this 1 single, and that will eventually meet up with each other. They're going to do this big circle thing and then end up touching. So whichever one we choose to start at will help complete the ear. It's nothing to worry about now. Now we can backtrack to the 2 verticals we just created where we had 4 of them in a row. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, and go to the top one. And basically what I'm going to do here is split the rest of the head with the top hat. I don't think I'm going to worry about the top hat yet. I just want to get the rest of the head shape going. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up and to the right from here. So put a placement block to the top side, 3 vertical, 1, 2, 3. And from that 3 vertical, we can go to the top block and put a placement block above it, so that way we can go up into the left 3 vertical, 1, 2, 3. And we can mark all 3 of those blocks for the top hat to come to later. We're not working with it now, like I said. Instead, we're going to backtrack to the 3 vertical we just built from and go to the middle block in it and put 1 coal to the right side and continue working with that. From that 1 coal to the right side, we're going to go up and to the right 2 more singles, 1, 2. And for this segment, you can keep putting your placement block to the right side and you should be fine. We're going to go up and to the right 2 flat, 1, 2. Up and to the right 3 flat, 1, 2, 3. Up and to the right 5 flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up and to the right 7 flat 2 times in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 1. Placement block to the top or right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 2. And then we can go back now and get rid of these extra dirt blocks. And I think we're at the halfway point pretty much for the head, and then we can just bring it back down. From there, we can put our placement block at the end, so that way we can go up and to the right, 17 flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Perfect. And let me just double check real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That was weird. Sorry about that. From the 17th block, so the final block into 17, we're going to go to the right side right here, and we're going to put 3 coal on top. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be the other end of the top hat. That's why I had to double check, because I was like, where's this top hat coming from? Look like devil horns. So we put the 3 on top right there. I'm going to mark them to come back to later. Like I said, we're not doing the top hat right now, but we now, just like the ear, we have both ends of the top hat started. So we can either start from the right side right here or the left side over there. Anyways, from that final block, that 17th block right here again, we're going to go to the right side of it and put 4 coal going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. So now it should be 21 in total. We're then going to put a placement block to the right or bottom side. I suggest switching it to the bottom now because we're going to be going back down. Or we're going to go down into the right, 4 flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, placement block underneath. Down into the right, 5 flat, 2 times in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 1, placement block underneath, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 2, perfect. And if you have any idea of how this is, it's symmetrical, kind of. We're almost at the ears on the right side. We're going to probably do the starting of those, but I'm kind of just trying to rush to the bottom, so that way we can end this part, because I'm running out of time for how much I want to do on this second part. Anyways, from there, we're going to put our placement block underneath and go down into the right, 4 flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down into the right, 2 flat, 1, 2. Down into the right, 1 single. Down into the right, 2 flat again, 1, 2. Placement block underneath. Down into the right 3 single now. Count carefully. 1, 2, 3. And you can see we're starting to shape out the peanut head going on for Freddy. Basically copying the shape over there, I want to say. Not copying because the numbers aren't the same. I'm being careful with my words. Anyways, from those 3 single, we're going to put a placement block underneath. So that way we can go down into the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. Down into the right 1 single. Down into the right 2 vertical again. 1, 2. And this is going to be the split for one of the ears. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top block in that 2 vertical and put a placement block above it to kind of signal the start of the top of the right ear. And I want you to put a coal to the right of that placement block now, basically, like so. So that's that 1 single waiting right there. You can mark it. We'll come back to it later if you want, or don't. I don't really care. Actually, I do care, because then you're gonna mess up. Mark it. Then we're gonna go back to the 2 vertical, and we're gonna go to the bottom block in it, and put a placement block underneath. So that way we can go down into the right 3 vertical 2 times in a row. 1, 2, 3. That's 1. 1, 2, 3. That's 2. Just zoom out, give you guys a quick look-see. Pause if you need to in the video, not your game, and make sure yours is matched up perfectly with this. But then we'll continue bringing it down. So from here, we're going to put a placement block underneath and go down into the right 6 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down into the right 8 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And usually when I do this part of the face, I usually bridge off of this and do the eyes, but technically his eyes are going to be connected to where his nose is. So once we're worried about that detail, we'll actually do the eyes there. So we don't have to bridge off and do the eyebrows and stuff. That's a miracle for once. Anyways, from this 8 vertical, if we go to the second to last block from the bottom, so this one right here, we can start the bottom half of the right ear by putting 3 coal to the right side of it. 1, 2, 3, just like that. From that 3 coal, we can go to the middle block in it and put an extra coal on top, like so, creating this Tetris piece. And then from that one on top we just added, we can put 1 placement block to the top or left side and go up into the left 1 single, connecting it back to the 8 vertical, and creating that little hole that kind of exists on the left side that I told you is like a gear piece. So you can color this light gray if you wanted to, but like I said, don't worry about the coloring yet. Anyways, we're gonna mark this 3 flat to come back to later, because if we wanted to start circling out the ear, that's where we would start from for the bottom half of it, or we can work with the top half where we have that single marked up there. Very simple. Pat yourself on the back if you've made it this far. We're almost done with this part. From here, we're gonna put a placement block underneath and go down into the right 5 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down into the right 7 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to switch directions to the left side, but if you're putting your placement block underneath, it doesn't matter. We're going to go down into the left 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see we went back to the left side. Down into left 1 single. And then from that single, what I want you to do is we're going to put an extra coal below it. But from that extra coal below, we're then going to add 1 to the right of it, like so. And then 20 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can mark it if you want. And then we can start the last 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's going to be the start of the makeup and the eyes if we wanted to continue from there. I don't think I want to necessarily continue from there yet. We could mark something. No, I'm not going to mark anything yet. We'll come back to it later if we need to. We still have the left side that we could start from, and I usually start from the left side. So I'm not going to mark anything right here yet. Just know if we have to come back to the 22 flat, this is where it is. Let's go to the right side where we have this 1 single just hanging off by itself and put a placement block underneath. And we're going to go down into the right 2 flat from it. 1, 2. Placement block. Down into the right 4 singles now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down into the right 2 vertical 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Down into the right 13 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then from that 13 vertical, we're going to be going to the left side now. But like I said before, if you're putting your placement block underneath, it shouldn't matter because left or right side is both accessible from the bottom. So from this, we're going to go down into the left. 2 vertical, 3 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. 1, 2, that's 3. Down into the left, 4 singles now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down into the left, 2 flat. 1, 2. Down into the left, 9 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then from the 9 flat, we can split into 2 directions. We can either start with the top row of teeth, kind of like, I think we have a marker over there for that. Yeah, that extended spot over there. But I don't want to do that. So, I'm not going to mark this either. We're going to go to the second to last block from the left side. So this one right here. And we're going to put 4 pieces of coal going straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our main goal is just to connect. From those 4 straight down we just added, we're going to go to the bottom block in that 4 vertical. And on that bottom block, we're going to put 2 coal to the left. 1, 2, like that. And mark those. And then also from that bottom block, we're going to go down into the right, 2 singles. So 1, 2, perfect. And that should have met up with the 4 flat we had right there at the diagonal, completing the shape. You can get rid of that placement block right now if you wanted to. And looking at the right hand camera screen, that completed the entire outline of his face. We still have to do the ears and the top hat, but I'm not worried about that. We just wanted to make sure this connected. So hopefully yours connected where it should have. If you are liking this tutorial, be sure to like and subscribe and comment for more parts. Don't really know how to end this one. My voice is kind of cracking already, but hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, I'll see you guys next time. I don't know what this outro is. Bye.